What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. You can email us, PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text us 865-658-5824. Join alongside Tim live in Green Bay. We got Emilio in Tennessee back to talk some Packers this evening. And before we jump into it, let's get gents, how we doing this evening? What's going on in your neck of the woods, as Al Roper once said?
Not much. I'm moving right along. Friday's coming, last day of mowing, and get to the weekend Packers game against the Cardinals. I'm pretty excited. A little football tonight. I'm ready, Clay.
Maybe a little live betting. We don't know. We'll see. If
you and that dabbling.
We'll see if something pops up. Tim, how you doing, Bubba?
Feeling like this guy right here, Another day, man.
Got 3 in the chamber ready to go.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Man, we've you know what? Since you're already talking about lung darts, let's jump right into it. Our boy Baz did it. He pulled the trigger. I quote tweeted Baz and said, it's only fitting that Baz was the one to pull the trigger on this idea. So for those of you on the pod that can't see this, he had completely photoshopped a Kraft mac and cheese box, and he puts Kraft yak and cheese. Of course, he's got Tucker throwing a stiff arm. It says original flavor, yakaroni and cheese sauce mix. And then at the very top, my favorite, it says stiff arm to the face included in the box.
That's perfect. The only thing that it could be different is the spirals are absolutely fire. But besides that, yeah, I love it.
I'll tell you, and Tucker Kraft's a fun one, man. I don't know if you guys seen this exchange earlier today, but Matt Schneidman had actually tweeted it out. He said Tucker Kraft wants to clarify that he wouldn't burn down the childhood homes down. He wouldn't burn the childhood homes down with the children in them. So
right.
He just wanted to clarify when he talks trash to the opponents. And he says, I used to say something like, I'm going to burn down their childhood home. Let's hear it from the man himself.
Not with children in it. Let's make sure that's not on the record. No, I mean, just I don't know. The game's fun. And when you get a chance to just say something like that and you get one of the highest paid people on their team to just turn around and look at you like, what did you just say? I know. I just try to – I'm out there having fun and I'm playing loose. Yeah, sure, I'll say some crazy stuff. It doesn't knock me off my game. It probably doesn't even get into the head of my opponent. They probably are just like, this guy's weird. But, yeah, no, this is fun podcast. Good opportunity, I guess, to get my personality out there, but I don't say that too often.
Don't say that too often. That's one you want to keep close to the vest. Save it for the right moment, right?
Right.
And I did see some comments in there too that people were going, "Oh man, the cancel culture got him," and this and that. So I don't think that was the case, but it is funny that he acknowledged it. Look at Bill Huber.
No. Honestly, the way I heard it was the dude asked the question, and it's like he was like, "Oh, I heard you on the podcast." Talking about burning a house down, and maybe children in them or something. I don't know how, and like joked it off. And I'm like, dude, you're putting words in Tucker's mouth. He never said that. Come on now. That's why you had to clarify it.
Oh, we're going to give him some.
He should.
Thank you, Brett.
Oh, man. All right. So there you go. There's your Tucker Kraft update again. Kraft yak and cheese. And, of course, we hit spirals. And Tucker Kraft does clarify that there were no children harmed in the making of that funny comment the other day. Okay, everything's all good. Everybody calm down. We're good to go. So now we did have obviously the story of Romeo Doubs that just continues to, I don't want to say dominate the headlines, but everyone seems to have an opinion on it. And you were kind of hoping everything was behind us here with the whole Romeo thing. And then, of course, once the media met with the players in the locker room, we listened to it yesterday. I thought everybody was pretty supportive. Evidently, I completely whiffed on that opinion. Maybe you guys agree with me, maybe you don't. But everyone was talking about it today like they're convinced that he didn't address the team. Now, no one came out and said he didn't address the team. But the way that LaFleur and Goody and the PR department had the players answer the questions about that would suggest that he didn't address the team. If he did address the team, they'd probably go, yeah, he did, and we'll keep that between us, right? But he didn't kind of answer it that way. He being Christian Watson, a couple other people. But I did put the poll question up, and this is all I said, guys. I said, how do you currently feel about the Romeo Doubs situation? The two options are it's behind us or there is something still brewing. Currently, it's behind us is leading 60-40. Thank God. I hope that is the case. And shout out to Josh Vallanningham gifting 5 Packer Fan Total Access memberships to 5 lucky viewers. Appreciate you, Josh. Thank you so much, buddy. And Chris N kind of hit on it here. He says Doubs didn't address the team, and he skipped out on the media, skipping the locker room altogether after practice. Poopy ain't right, is what Chris N says. Poopy ain't right. So let's go around the horn with it real quick. Are we concerned, guys? How do y'all feel about it? Do you, there could be some embarrassment there. I still wouldn't rule out that Rome's got maybe something's potentially going on personally. I don't know. Right. But what do you guys think, man?
10 catches, 150 yards, and 2 tutters on Sunday for Rome. That's how I feel.
Put it on the ticker.
Put it on there. Tim, I love it. Yeah, I mean, I think that, like Clayton said, possibly something still going on there, but, maybe he is still a little tail tucked between the leg, doesn't want to address the elephant in the room right this second. Maybe do it on his own time or individually or something like that. And once he gets them all knocked out individually, say something to the team, as long as it doesn't go on for, another 2 weeks beyond this sort of thing, drawn out throughout the year, that would be the issue. I think if we can, have the week off, have a week, have him here, and by next week we're moving on. I think it's just talking point right now.
Yep. There you go. Anything else, Tim? You good on that?
No, I just feel like, we talked about this offline a little bit, like players are required to speak to the media, whatever the minimums are, if it's once a week or whatever it is. So, Rome not speaking to the media doesn't really surprise me. I'm sure we're going to get that at some point. And as far as, speaking to the team, like that's going to be handled in-house, right? Like we're going to know as much as the team's willing to let us know. So just because they're not saying anything doesn't mean it isn't happen. And doesn't mean that it clearly, like you saw Scoot talk today about it. Clearly the guys are on board and they support Rome. So, I mean, really that's where it should begin and end for us. If there was really a rift or some kind of issue, we'd know about it right now based on the demeanor of his teammates. And right now the coaching staff and his teammates are 100% behind him. I honestly think this fan base is making a bigger deal out of it than it needs to be at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that got me thinking, Tim, how long was it from Ja when he had his interview? I mean, he was gone for the week or the game or whatever. And then how many days after? Give the guy a couple days and, let him answer the questions as they are. But that's all everyone's just itching at is they're just waiting to just start drilling him with questions anyway. And, he's already quiet to begin with in his locker room interviews. And so it's not something that I'm sure he's looking forward to. So,
and I don't think we're going to get any new info.
Right.
Just like Ja's interview when he did do it. Hey, we had meetings. We're moving forward. It was productive. The ball rolls forward. We're focused on Sunday. I'm sure that's what Rome's going to say when he's interviewed. I don't think we're going to get, like some great TMZ scoop on the inside track of what's going on. I mean, like Coach LaFleur did from the beginning, right? We're going to keep this close to the chest. We handle family business with family. And if you're not in the building, then you're not privy to it. And, the rest of us are here to watch football and enjoy football. So I'm looking forward to seeing Romeo Doubs catching passes. That's where I'm leaving it at. I don't think we're going to get anything new regardless of what happens with the media.
Yeah. Yeah. I see all sides. I really do. After listening to everyone today, it did kind of open me up a little bit. Like maybe I'm making too light of it. I don't know. Light of it in a sense of, hey, it's behind us. But as far as comparing it to Jair Alexander's situation, they said Ja addressed the team and said, hey, man, I screwed up. That's on me. If Romeo didn't address the team, I don't think the locker room personally, and look, I've never been in an NFL locker room, but I don't think those guys are walking around going, how dare he not address us? I don't think that's happening.
Right.
Listening to Mark Tauscher earlier, he seemed to think it would bother him. So who the hell am I to say, hey, a former NFL player is wrong for thinking that? Obviously, he's got more experience in the locker room culture than me, which is 0 minutes, 0 seconds, right? But Coach Steno did address it a little bit at the coordinator's press conference earlier today. Matt Schneidman tweeted out Adam Stenavich on Romeo Doubs, quote, we're a better team with him. And then Matt Schneidman went on to say that Stenavich on Doubs said this whole week he's been a professional. There have been no warning signs. So sounds like it's probably behind him. Let's hope that's the case here. Chewy in the chat, good to see you, buddy, says Rome is not the most articulate person, even when he's talking football, something he clearly knows. How is he going to sound when he discussed his lack of coping strategies? Leave him be, I say. There you go. I think that's a good point. And it does bother me that I shouldn't even say this. Feels like his show's turning so negative. That's not what I want, but I can't BS y'all. It does bother me when the media comes from an angle of, well, we deserve to know. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, really? Are we?
Just like you guys want to know the game plan every single week, and you're not going to get it.
All right. Josh Valanahan with another 5 memberships. Thank you, sir. You are the man. Really, really appreciate you. Greg Rice says, a good teammate.
Appreciate it, Josh. You re-upped me. Thank you, sir. No, I'm back on there.
Just so everyone knows, if Emilio wins in the contest, he's not getting it right.
No, if I win, it's because I'm on Patreon. That's why.
The only one I'd be willing to give it to would be if Mrs. G wins a prize, I'm sending it to her. All right, I don't want that bad juju on me. She earned it for putting up with Tim. All right, we'll just all say that together. But Greg Rice in the chat said a good teammate supports his teammate, but I understand wanting to hear what Doubs had to say and an apology if appropriate. If appropriate, I think I'm glad you put that in there, Greg.
Yeah.
For sure, man. Yeah, and Greg Rice did go on to say it's rigged, just like Emilio did. Unbelievable. But, yeah, there you go. All right, so that's the Romeo Doubs chatter of the day. Now let's get on to some more important news, in my opinion. Luke Musgrave, man, this kind of popped up as Easton Butler tweeted out, the Packers are placing tight end Luke Musgrave on IR. Matt LaFleur hopes to have him back by the end of the year. Obviously, he's been battling an ankle. Adam Schefter tweeted out shortly after that, I guess a few hours after that, Packers are signing tight end John Fitzpatrick off the Falcons practice squad and onto their active roster per sources. Packers tight end Luke Musgrave has been dealing with an ankle injury. So obviously the big thing that this kind of triggers in my mind is what Paul Bretto said earlier today too. Musgrave's going to be sidelined for the time being, which means a heavier workload for Ben Sims, a role he is ready for. Quote, I want to give these coaches the trust in me and the ability to be able to call whatever they want, is what Ben Sims said. You can check out that story from Paul Bretto over at ESPNlacrosse.com. Link there on Paul's Twitter page at Paul_Bretto. You guys know how I feel about Ben Sims. I'm not trying to be mean to Luke Musgrave. You guys know I had a very high draft grade on him. I was excited about him getting drafted. I had him significantly higher than Tucker Kraft on my board, like most people did. But listen, if you see it, you got to say it. It's not panned out to this point, and Tucker Kraft is a much, much more equipped tight end to do what Matt LaFleur wants. Now, with that being said, is Ben Sims better than Musgrave? Natural talent and ability? No. But based off what I've seen on tape, I don't think that's a stretch to say that Ben Sims is playing better football than Musgrave. Now, here's the thing, too. Maybe Musgrave has been battling something, too, right, for a long time. Maybe this isn't just something that popped up one week. Okay, now he's on IR. It might be something he's dealing with longer than we know. Because like Tim pointed out.
I think that's what they said in the interview with him is that yeah, he's been dealing with this for a while. It just shows how tough he is that he even, suited up to play,
Got it. So how do you guys feel about this Ben Sims being kind of, put into the offense in place of Luke Musgrave?
I love it. I think Ben Sims is Tuck Norris Jr. I see a lot in him that I like about Tucker Kraft. I feel like Ben Sims gets it done in pass pro and in the run blocking, and then he's also a guy that'll run out in the flat and catch a pass, turn up field for you in a pinch. Obviously Tucker's our best tight end, but I feel really good about Ben Sims, and we'll see what happens. With the new guy being added to the lineup here, but no, I'm confident. I'm confident in tight end number 2, and hopefully this is a good thing. Hopefully Musgrave can rehab on the IR, and we do get him back in time for the playoffs or something like that, because Luke Musgrave is an asset to this team. I don't care what anybody says. He's been a work in progress. Maybe hasn't quite met people's expectations out there on the field, but at the end of the day, you want the guy in the lineup. For the time being, though, I'll take Tuck Norris and Ben Sims all day as your tight ends. I'm happy with it.
How about you, Emilio?
Yeah, I think I second everything Tim said there. A duo that, he's proved himself for not just this year, but, in the offseason, he's worked hard. He knows the playbook kind of thing. And I appreciated his grind. You got to be able to do the dirty work, especially when you're second, third, fourth string tight end. He's the one holding the blocking dummy for Tucker in practice, all that stuff. So, a good teammate and, hard worker.
Definitely. Yeah, and Philip Rude in the chat says, did you all see Sims's pancake block?
Here's the guy.
If we see it, sir, right here it is. Asking you shall receive. All right. Ben Sims right over here playing tight end to the left. You're going to see Tucker Kraft motion over. I think Ben would technically be called the U tight end here. We're going to roll the tape here. Watch Ben Sims. What he's going to do, his blocking assignment's real simple. We're going to pull a guard who's going to seal the edge. Ben's going to completely ignore the edge. He's going to double down on this defensive end on his way to this backer. Watch him dig out this backer right here as he works that double team over. So you got a guard pulling. Tucker Kraft's going to do a cheat sift to help seal the edge as well. Again, watch number 89 on this play. As we're going to get vertical, we canned out. We're going to A-gap run right here. Inside zone is what it looked. Well, not inside zone, but obviously a power G look. So you see he's kind of going B. He's going to cut back to the A. You see Ben. He's already to the second level right here, right? Yep. Watch him plaster this backer. Get on the ground, boy. And look at him flex. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get it from the sideline cam to give you a little bit better angle. Again, he covers a little ground to get up here double and get to the backer. You see that RAS pop right here as he gets off the line. Watch how quick he goes, man. Bang, bang, finish.
My favorite part of the play was Jordan screaming at Tucker to get into motion. That was hilarious.
Let's go back to it one more time.
It's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, so right here, basically Jordan's going, he's giving the signal right now. Hey, Tuck, all right, let's get this cheat started. All right, well, he goes, can.
Right.
Now here it goes.
Can.
All right, cheat.
Hey, Tucker, come on.
Hey, what are you doing?
Come on.
Hilarious.
Oh.
Hey,
Tucker was saying, hold my beer. Hold on. Hold my beer.
Right.
Cool, calm, and collective, though, is Jordan Love, no doubt about it, man. And notice this. I don't want to geek out too much on technique, but watch Sims get low right there. He's underneath, right? Drive the legs, bang. Love it. You love to see it, boys.
Yep. He hit the sled that week, that's for sure.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm excited about it, man. I think he's going to play just fine. I really do. Ben Holden says, Robert Tunyon just released by the Vikings. No, sir. Don't want it. Now, who knows, though? He does know the offense.
We already got our 85. I'm good.
Yeah. He darn sure ain't coming here and getting that 85 back, right? Yeah. Like Greg Rice says, low man wins. Amen, sir. Amen. All right. Moving along here. So, Rob Domofsky tweeted this out earlier today at Packers practice. Just a little shot of.
Good to see Bobby Boy back on Twitter.
He made it back, Tim. He's back in the fold, man. My man was – God, that seemed like that was forever that he was out. And I really listened. I enjoyed following Rob Domofsky. I know some people have had issues for whatever reason. I don't know. But and it might have been warranted. I've never had any communication with him at all. I like the content he puts out. We probably wouldn't agree on most things, just like there's probably not two people on the face of the earth that agrees with everything I agree with. I'm a weirdo over here, right? So it is what it is. But
heard it from a fan right here.
Second, that was Mandy that hit that sound drop.
Yep.
Second straight day of practice for Christian Watson, although he said after yesterday's session that he didn't do any live team reps, only individual and group, period. So Christian Watson's back out there getting some work in, obviously, as you see Jordan Love there doing the high legs and Christian coming in a few players back. I kind of felt like Christian's going to play this week, but listening to people talk earlier today, just throughout the day, listening to various podcasts and live streams on YouTube, I'm kind of getting the vibe that people are going, nah, he's probably not going to be back this week. How do you guys feel about it? You think there's a chance that Christian plays?
I mean, possibility, but I don't need to rush him back. I think that Bo's going to get a lot of opportunities to go against his brother, and I'd rather not rush it. It was an awkward bend. It really didn't look pretty. As long as he's all right, I mean, yeah, let it go, but no need to rush it. It's still week five going on 6.
Did you guys see the exchange with Christian Watson's dad on Twitter?
I didn't see it. I did remember hear Ryan talk about it.
So talking about the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a doctor that he's a legit doctor. I've had conversations with him in the past. Actually, when I don't know how to say this and be tactful. When we found out what was wrong with Christian Watson's knee his rookie year, having a conversation with his mom here on this podcast, that doctor reached out to me and gave me details like, hey, it's probably this, with cartilage, here's what you're looking at, blah, blah, blah. Seemed like a nice guy. Of course, he didn't seem to think that it was actually Christian Watson's dad chatting with him on Twitter, and that got really awkward really quick. It's like, yeah, I think I would know. Basically, the doctor was doubling down, going, listen, I'm really accurate with this, and I know what I'm talking about, blah, blah. And Christian Watson's dad was like, Bub, I talked to him. That's my son. Kind of awkward, Tim. Do you think Christian's going to play this week, man? How do you feel about it?
I'm kind of with Emilio. I'd love to see him out there, but I think if we give him another week, I think that's a good thing. Based off of Rob Demoski's tweet here, no live team reps, just individual and kind of group drills. Clearly, they're kind of easing him back into, game speed type of reps. So if he's got to miss the game against Arizona, I'm okay with it. The following week against the Texans is going to be the biggest game of the year for us up to this point. So having Scoot back for that one would be great. And I say that because I feel good about, Romeo Doubs playing this weekend. And I think, like I said, I think Rome's going to have a hell of a game. He's going to, silence the haters and the doubters. So if there was a week for Christian to sit and get some extra rest and some extra rehab, I think it's this week. And I agree with Emilio. I think we see a lot of Bo Melton out there and maybe packages for Malik Heath. And, we roll with what we have. I think Dobby coming back is going to make it easier on the Packers to make that decision to just go ahead and give Scoot another week. But I will say this, Christian Watson is tougher than anyone has ever given him credit for. And if that dude wants to go and he's cleared, I'm anticipating he plays. But I'm in Emilio's corner here. I think we should just give him one more week, honestly. With the depth we have in this receiver core, I think it's no problem. I think we can beat the Cardinals with the personnel we have. And we're going to need Scoot against the Texans for sure. So not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but, my gut's telling me he probably doesn't play this weekend.
It's all about that depth.
I do like this, too, that it gives Bo Melton a chance to play this week, and Bo will be going against his brother, Max.
Yep.
Kind of a cool story there to see how that's going to play out. Those guys are going to be ultra competitive, I guarantee it. What if Bo goes out there and absolutely ear holes his brother on a run block? Wouldn't it be great? I would love it, man.
They were saying they were kind of asking Matt Steno and about it, and Rich, that we might get him as a flyer gunner combo, and then maybe a little combo on offense, try to get them lined up against each other.
That'd be cool, man. That'd be really cool.
Yep.
Josh Vallanningham in the chat said, I know this is a stupid question, but what does the green dot mean? There are no stupid questions in here, Josh. The green dot's real simple. On each side of the ball, you get one player that's designated to wear the headset that can communicate with the coaching staff up till 15 seconds are left on the play clock. It's my understanding, unless that's changed, and the comms cut off. So whoever's wearing the green dot, they get a green dot on their helmet, and that'll determine, okay, they've got the headset in their helmet. That's what that means.
And that's one way, right? That's one-way communication. Like the coaches can talk to the player with the green dot, but there's no – the player can't back to the coach, right?
That's a good question, man. I don't think so. Now, I've seen Rodgers talk to the sideline several times. I don't think he wanted them to hear it, though. It was usually him cussing somebody out on the sideline. So, I don't think they can communicate with the OC. I think it's just one way. Is that what you're thinking too, Emilio? Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it is just one way. But that's why they were talking with the Rams and Matt Stafford. Sean would be in his ear trying to tell him to do this, look at the safety, look at that. If you get him to play in early and they're up to the line by 20 seconds, you still got 5 seconds to chatter. So I think that's where that comes in. But yeah, no, Matt was saying, like, get out of my ear, but I can't tell you that, right?
Right. Coach Lynn in this chat said, do we know anything about our new tight end? I haven't had a chance to look into that at all. You guys got any info on him at all, Emilio?
Yeah, he's
thick.
That's all you got.
Yeah. To add to that, I'm pretty sure could have sworn Matt said he was from Georgia. They brought him in on a 30 visit a couple years ago. And then, just to kind of see where they're at then and where he's at now, work him out. But they're not sure if he can do that kind of move stuff. But again, we're not bringing the dude in to do everything right now. We just need another body. He's taking Ben Sims' role. So if we can find another Ben Sims on the street, then we'd be happy. We can work from it, from there. Got
it. There you go. United Bates in the chat said it is a one-way and gets cut off at 15 seconds on the play clock. So it is a one-way conversation. So appreciate it, Bates. You are the man, sir. Let's see here. Let's shift gears real quick. And another thing popped up on the injury report. We were talking about Christian Watson. This got tweeted out by Matt Schneidman. Tucker Kraft added to the latest injury report with a groin. So when we go through this injury report, and I'll go ahead and try to get the better, clearer version here. There we go. So Tucker Kraft was not listed Wednesday. He's now listed as limited. All right. Luke Musgrave obviously was limited Wednesday. Now he did not participate on Thursday. We know he's going to IR. As far as everyone else, nothing changed with Ja. He's still limited. Same with Zane Anderson, full participation. Same with Kenny Clark, Edgerrin Cooper, Jonathan Ford, Elton Jenkins, all limited as the day before. Full participation for Aaron Mosby again. Full participation for Zach Tom again. Limited for Carrington Valentine and Christian Watson. And then, of course, Devontae Wyatt did not practice again. I think we all kind of understand that our boy Devontae Wyatt's not going to play. Now, listen, we heard Tucker Kraft at his locker. Seemed like he was really upbeat. I don't think that it's a scenario where Tucker Kraft doesn't play on Sunday. How do you guys feel about him? Do you agree with that, or do you think there's a chance he might miss?
Tim?
Go ahead, Emilio.
Oh, well, I think he's playing hard for sure. Give him the red jacket. He's like
the red pants now.
Yeah,
right?
no, the just like from the replacements, Clay. Red means stop, like a street light, right? Exactly. Where no one's going to be hitting Tucker during the week. Let him ice it, whatever. Put him on the injury report because it came up. Maybe a little gamesmanship. Who knows? But I think he's going to play 100%. Then, if not, what are we going? 10 personnel? Just take the tight end off the field, or put Ben in there and run it. Then or you're asking the new guy to do a lot.
It's a good point, man. It's a really good point. Yeah, you'll probably. Obviously, you're not going to go to 12 much. That's for
right.
Sure, right. Yeah, and I guess obviously with Luke going to the IR, this might be more about Tucker Kraft's groin than it is Luke going to IR that they signed the new tight end. Right? It could be like, holy cow! All right, we're kind of up against it now. So, and that's the thing too. Like you can with the close split sets, you can accomplish the same thing you do with 12 or similar to what you do with 12 in 11. You put Christian Watson. You remember, I think it was last year, the year before, they put Christian Watson on the wing there several times.
Yep, shuffle him in, just squatting down or even standing up right behind the tackle kind of thing.
Yeah, what that does is you put him in a very, very similar spot as a U tight end, and the only difference is rather than a linebacker being matched up on a tight end, you got a corner matched up on Christian Watson. I got to be real with you. I think I would take Christian Watson blocking a cornerback over even Tucker Kraft trying to block a linebacker. That's just Christian Watson's that good at run blocking, in my opinion. So same thing with Tay Wicks. Obviously, we've seen that time and time again. On the Cardinals side of the ball, side here, Isaiah Adams, full participation. Beecham did not participate Wednesday. He's limited today. Evan Brown, limited both days. Christian Jones, full participation. Zay Jones, wide receiver, full participation, and then was limited today. He's got a hammy he's dealing with. Jesse Laquetta wasn't listed on Wednesday. He's listed as limited now. Same with Nichols, defensive lineman, got a finger injury. He's limited now. Matt Prater, limited on both days. Darius Robinson, defensive lineman, limited on Wednesday, did not participate Thursday. And I don't know how many snaps he's got. We may be able to get to the PFF preview here shortly, and we'll kind of see if we can get a snap count for Darius Robinson if he pops up on there. Garrett Williams, cornerback with the groin, is out. And also, we had briefly mentioned there was an offensive lineman for the Cardinals that was going to miss. I did look that up earlier today. Let me pop it back up here. Where you at, PFF preview? Bang. Will Hernandez is who that was. He's grading out a 69.4. His positional war ranking is 9th. That's win over replacement, I believe.
He's the one that got hurt, right? You said?
Yes, sir. So he is out. He's on IR now. So.
I think it was Wes said that he was Aaron Jones's guard or tackle at UTEP. He was like, how do I remember that name? And that's just a fun little snippet.
Nice. I like it, man. I like it. All right. Anything else you guys want to hit on the injury report there? We good.
Yeah, if we're short a tight end, put Quay Walker at tight end.
Damn. Put Quay out there.
Put Quay out there, man.
Give him a shot.
Give him a shot.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of old school, Tim. I'd rather see TJ Slayton out there playing you. That's just I mean, could you imagine putting that big boy out there and then motion him back to H-back, just giving him the rock like Refrigerator Perry? Let's go. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Hafley on Keyshawn Nixon. Kind of cool. Matt Schneidman tweeted out. Jeff Hafley says Keyshawn Nixon deserves more credit than he's been getting for everything he's been asked to do this season on defense. Hafley said Nixon is having a, quote, really good season. Don't tell that to the spreadsheet, guys, but you guys know we've been pretty vocal on here. We showed the the Xavier McKinney interception that we had last week. We showed how it was cover one man, right? McKinney was the post safety. Keyshawn done a great job playing outside leverage, funneling it to the inside, didn't let him get back on his pro route. McKinney cuts it off. Gets the interception. That was all Keyshawn Nixon on that play. Great defensive play. Obviously, he's been very, very physical in the running game. I think Mandy just got home. You hear the dog? Y'all hear the dogs back there in the background?
No.
You hear this?
You're
okay.
good.
Good deal. All right. Yeah, they're going nuts down there. Right? Either that or they found the ribeye on the counter and they're having a good time. That might be it too. So, but yeah. So when it comes to Keyshawn Nixon, I tend to agree with Coach Hafley. Man, is he playing great? No. But I think what he was asked to do, and I think what Haf was talking about there, Tim, was how he was asked to play the boundary, play outside, right, play wide last week. And I thought Keyshawn held his own, man. I really did.
I agree. I mean, we talked about that, right? I was kind of a little shocked. I was like, oh, boy, Keyshawn playing on the perimeter. Let's see what happens. And he looked pretty good. He even against Justin Jefferson, he gave up that touchdown. Which was just a hell of a throw and a hell of a catch.
Right.
When Key had him covered, it is what it is. He wasn't burned on that play. And then we saw on Sunday, Keyshawn looked good on the boundary as well. Now, with Jair coming back into the fold, let's see what that means. I don't know if Key goes back to the slot and we go back to our old lineup here, or, do they keep Bullard in the slot, rotate Keyshawn in on the boundary? We've talked about Eric Stokes kind of being up and down with his play thus far this season. So, it's a lot to see, but I will tell you this, there's one thing Keyshawn has proven. It's that he can play corner. He's not putting up insane numbers or anything to get super excited about, but he's definitely not the liability that we may have thought he was at corner, both in the slot and on the boundary for that matter. So if anything, I'm more confident in Keyshawn this year than I was last year.
Yeah. And Hafley was kind of saying that, Tim, he was saying that he's been able to play corner inside and out, be physical, get up in the field, be able to blitz, all those things. And he's just not getting enough credit for it. For us to, Hafley saying for us to ask him to play inside, play outside, learn that other position, know those calls coming in and out. That's the same thing with Javon Bullard and Evan Williams. They're pushing Bullard, giving him a new position to learn while Evan's back there at, free or post or whatever. But I think he has done absolutely all of that and then some for defense until it gets a little colder, the ball doesn't fly as far on kickoffs, and then we can have a little bit more fun with that. And then we won't even be worried about previous week 1, 2, 3 defensive performances. If we get a kick return for 50 yards to a touchdown, in week 15. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Ben Holden says, happy birthday, Brett Favre. The GOAT. Happy birthday, Farvey. Love it,
The
man.
kid from the kill.
Right.
Happy birthday, Brett Favre.
Yes,
I got some
sir.
advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.
If y'all would hit that like button for us, help boost the algae. Let's get this thing cranked in here. We got a bunch of people watching. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us here on this Thursday evening as the San Francisco 49ers are leading the Seattle Seahawks on the road 3-0 currently. Both of those, let's see, San Fran's 2-3 and Seattle is 3-2 currently. That's obviously a divisional matchup. Should be a pretty good ball game there. We're keeping a close eye, man. If Seattle has to punt right here on this 3rd and 2, Emilio, you're probably going to see that live betting jump to like a +7, +8. We're getting in that ballpark.
It's a little early, Clay. Not even halftime yet.
The roll is halftime, but man, once you see that +10, it's like that meme. Remember that meme, that dude behind the tree rubbing his hands together? When I start looking. So Damon Stewart said, considering the kick return has been non-existent, it's huge that he stepped up. Amen, man, because he – what are we paying him? Like on average, $6 million a year, something like that, right? So we were saying all that value was going to be in the kick return game, and until they change that rule to where they push that up to the 35 or even possibly the 40 with touchbacks, he's going to continue to be a non-factor. I mean, they're looking at Keyshawn back there and going, nope, ain't doing it. Let's put it through the uprights. That's exactly what they're doing every time. So
that's a great point, because like he's providing value. He's showing that he has value on this team, whether that's in the slot or on the boundary, or hell, put him at tailback. Let's run a little orbit motion with Keyshawn back there, whatever we got to do. But
we haven't seen
that's a guy looking to contribute, right? They kind of took the return away from him, but I think we'll get one this year. We'll get one of those, something that comes off the foot a little goofy, and Keyshawn will field one at the 2 or something and bring one out for us. We'll see it. But it's important to say that, because a lot of us were upset. He's getting a lot of money, and we haven't seen a lot in the return game, but you guys got to look on the defense, right? We're seeing it in the slot, and we're seeing it on the boundary. So shout out to K9 for sure.
Right.
Yeah, here's the other thing, too. Keyshawn Nixon, if I'm looking at this correctly, according to Next Gen Stats, 4th in the team in tackles. So he has been a contributor there. He's got 12 stops. 12 stops. That's second best on the league, guys. And a stop, if I remember correctly, is 2 yards or less. I need to find the key here to know for sure. So y'all don't quote me on that. If you want to Google it, you can do that for me. That'd be cool. But Keyshawn Nixon, second on the team in stops. We could pull up that tape if y'all want to. Look at it. He's got 5 hustle plays. Holy cow, look at this.
What's a hustle play? 20 yards away from the ball?
Hustle stops. He's leading the team with 5.
Here's the guy.
Oh, by the way, he also is 3rd on the team in sacks with 2.
Here's the guy.
That's really wild to think about. He's been targeted 27 times. He has given up 17 receptions. The passer rating when targeted 104.1, but like Half was talking about, he's been pretty effective in the running game for sure. Let's see here. Greg Rice says Stokes needs to sit for a bit, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not overly impressed with Stokes personally. Maybe I'm too hard on him. How do you guys feel about that? If everybody was healthy in the cornerback room, what would you guys want the cornerbacks to look like? Who would play on the outside? Who would be your slot corner? I know we're kind of doing this on the fly, but how do you guys feel about that? Who would be your 3 corners that you would start?
The issue, Tim, is where or who we're playing and what their scheme is. Are they a 12 personnel team? Are they a 13 personnel team? Are they a 10 personnel team? I think that's where we need to approach it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's situationally, right? It's week to week. This is a week to week league. Who are the best 3 for that week? I don't know. It's tough. Stokes, I'm still on the fence with. This is a guy we've been really pulling for, right? Like these last couple of years, him fighting through the injury bug, and he had a stellar rookie season and has kind of been, up and down since then, more down than up. And this year he's been consistently inconsistent, I guess would be the word. Sometimes he looks great. Sometimes he doesn't look so hot. But, you look at the personnel we have. I mean, maybe it is time to free up an extra corner by putting, Javon Bullard in the slot, especially with, Evan Williams kind of coming on strong here in the safety room, which frees up a guy like Keyshawn to, play on the boundary with Jair possibly. Maybe that moves Stokes into a second, or third position on the depth chart, and you rotate that way. But it's all going to depend on the matchups. Obviously, we're going against Mr. Xbox himself, Kyler Murray, this weekend. So, I don't know what type of game plan do you put together for a guy that can, sling the ball, but also beat you with his feet, So
Right.
Maybe Bullard in the slot in this one is not a bad idea, right? It gives us a little more depth at the cornerback position. But I mean, you guys know I'm a Carrington Valentine fan. I've always liked him, but that's a guy who clearly needs to be more consistent and step up in a big way. It was great to see him make a mistake last Sunday and then immediately, redeem himself on that 2-point conversion. That was pretty cool. Yep. So I'm not selling on Valentine just yet. I like him. I like Ja, that. And I like Eric Stokes Jr. I just think these guys need to step up, but it's tough to pick, 3 that you can really go with, but I definitely think Keyshawn needs to be in that conversation, whether it's slot or boundary at this point.
And to that point, I mean, Greg Rice said Stokes needs to sit for a bit, in my opinion. And like Tim was saying, Valentine kind of needs to step it up. I think the only way to get Ja, Keyshawn, and Bullard on the field would be to put Key over at the outside, put Bullard at the slot, and then Evan at the nickel or Evan at safety. But then you take off Valentine and Stokes. And I mean, I know that they haven't been perfect this year or anything like that, but that's something tough that you got to do. I'm more happy that we have the depth and that we can have the rotation. So if guys are gassed, they don't need to stay out there the whole time or things like that. If you get banged up, we can rotate them. But I'm happy that with the young talent we have, we can cover those areas.
And it's funny you guys brought it up and said, hey, it really depends on scheme, because Jeff Hafley kind of made a comment like this earlier today. And I apologize for the X user in here. There's nothing I can do, guys. Using StreamYard, I can't ban them or anything.
I don't think they can see him. Then never mind.
Okay.
It would just be people on X that are.
All right, good deal. Good deal. They still haven't integrated everything completely, so we get spam. We try to block them and remove them, but we can't do anything about that one. But here was Coach Hafley talking about how the Packers may mix and match safeties, Javon Bullard and Evan Williams, depending on their opponent, and how they want to build the game plan each week. As a matter of fact, this is such an important comment. Let's go ahead and catch that on the other side. For those of you listening on the pod, we'll see you on the other side for hour 2. I apologize. We got right up against the gun there. We'll see you shortly. Appreciate y'all.
For those of you listening on the pod,